What's up, YouTube? This is your UFO recap. If you like to hear about UFOs, mysteries, conspiracies, and anything unknown, then you're in the right place. There's been a lot going on from new UAP whistleblowers to scientists' bombshell statements, from Immaculate Constellation to old UFO history coming back into the spotlight. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and let's jump right into it.
So let's talk about Eric Davis. He was recently involved with the Disclosure Fund's hearing on May 1st. He's someone that takes UFO disclosure seriously, and it shows in these clips I'm about to show you. But if for some reason you're not familiar with Eric Davis, here's a super quick rundown on who he is. He has a background in advanced deep space and interstellar spaceflight. He worked for Robert Bigelow, who's the former owner of Skinwalker Ranch. He worked there as a director of aerospace physics and astrophysics. It was at NIDS, the National Institute of Discovery Science. He has a PhD in astrophysics, and he basically is someone that should be taken seriously, and he has the experience and knowledge to back up the things he says. So check this clip out.
Do you have or can you comment on whatever species um, have been piloting these craft? How are they large? Are they multiple species? Are they like what was their size and how many are usually on a craft?
They're typically the multiple species people are familiar with, the Greys, the Nordics. People have talked about reptilians and insectoids. It's not that they're reptilian or insectoid, it's that they resemble to the recipient of reptile or an insect type humanoid, because they have this a head and four limbs and torso. So
Large, small,
human size, human scale.
and
Now, I want to be crystal clear that he was saying what he's heard in his experience. He was not stating it as a fact. But I think it's refreshing to hear an expert of his caliber even speak on that. Okay, moving on. I want to show the other part of this particular hearing that I thought was very interesting because Eric Davis speaks on the Nimitz UFO encounter back in 2004, also known as a Tic Tac. Check this out.
Been able to access that.
Dr. Davis, can you talk for a moment, sorry, about the Nimitz incident, the calculations for the object to go from 80,000 feet within less than a second, 50 feet over the water? What type of energy requirement are we talking about?
Hundreds of times the total electrical energy produced in the United States annually. That's the kind of energy that is representative of the observed features and performances of UAP craft.
And in case you're super new to this and you don't know what the Nimitz is, it's the infamous Tic Tac UFO encounter. Just to refresh your memory, check out this short clip.
Nickel 6-1 Tango, Roger, over. Oh, got it! Woohoo! Roger, there's troubleshooting as soon as I get. Did you box moving target? 602. No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow.
Okay, so the next thing I want to go over briefly is just a few key parts of Ross Coulthart's recent investigations. Massive props to Ross. He's one of the few journalists that's out there really putting in some good work. He has brought a new whistleblower on for an interview recently. I highly recommend to go check it out. I'll have the link in the description. But basically, his name is Bob Thompson, and he's a retired Border Patrol agent. He has brought some new UAP videos to the surface, such as the rubber duck, the bruja, and the cigar. I want to know in the comments what you think of Bob Thompson, but for now, let's get to these clips.
This new video that nobody's seen before.
That's correct.
Okay, so let's have a look at it.
All right.
Okay, so that's the object you're talking about. It's like a stubby little cylinder.
That's correct.
I can see why they call it a cigar. It's very blurry.
It is blurry, and I felt that it just didn't provide enough data. I showed Andy it, but we didn't feel like it warranted.
But it does seem to be moving incredibly
There it
fast.
is.
It
It
actually
does.
looks like a humanoid form.
It moves very bizarrely.
Looks like a spaceman.
That was one of my first impressions, was that it was someone maybe with a jetpack cruising across the desert.
Okay, could it be a jetpack?
I would think it would show something different on the camera. You'd probably see a more profound heat signature from a jetpack.
So is that a heat signature? That is the weirdest thing.
It does have an odd shape.
Could it be a balloon? Maybe something dangling below the balloon?
No, I think you would probably see that in the video here. There's clearly enough room that, you know, if there was something dangling, it'd probably be a good 100-foot long.
Okay, so those are some pretty compelling new UAP videos right there. The real question is, where is this all going? I really hope that more of these videos continue to come out. Ross Coulthart does go on to talk about the possibilities of portals in Arizona, and that's something that I plan on doing a deep dive on, so stay tuned and make sure you subscribe. The last thing I want to go over briefly is Immaculate Constellation. Don't get me wrong, Jeremy Corbell has done a great job, and George Knapp is just a legend. So I want to give props to them, but there was only a couple moments in episode 1 that were really revealing to me. So the new whistleblower they have is Matthew Brown, who has had a career in the Pentagon and decided to become a whistleblower. So let's dive into those clips.
I
Check this
am. Explain the concern.
Ultimately, my biggest fear is what humanity will do to itself out of fear and greed, and what we have done. And we have built a prison around ourselves. It's invisible, but it's not complete. And there is still time to maybe alter our trajectory, have a different future. May not be the best one that we had hoped for, but it's going to be damn sight better than what they have planned for us.
You know,
Just wow. What they have planned for us sounds terrifying. Who is they has to be the question that pops in everybody's mind right off the bat. In my opinion, Matt Brown looked very genuine this entire interview. And to be honest, he looked scared shitless, which is completely understandable. Check out this next clip.
Period of a couple of years is your belief that the technology, the race for the technology, the understanding of the big secret is entirely in the hands of people outside the government and not for the benefit of the public or to protect American national security. It's in some other realm, in some other hands.
I think it's a mix. I think our military, has a long historic involvement in this. So does our intelligence community and our scientific academic community. We have, as a country, allowed ourselves to be penetrated, co-opted, and corrupted by an internationalist force that serves their interests and views nations, peoples as tools and means to an end.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really want to bring some good content to YouTube for all of you guys to enjoy. And right now I'm exploring a few different ways of making content, so bear with me. And if you like the channel, do me a favor and subscribe. There will be plenty of more alien, UAP, and general conspiracy content in the future. I'm out.